there's also a major trend happening. It's particularly true in the US now about the kind of the co-creation with suppliers. Now, we all have known for 20 or 30 years that somehow you should engage your suppliers. You should, for some reason, if you take a look at Detroit in particular, you find that this hasn't been very much the case. If you take a look at the people who drive Detroit now, increasingly you find really a massive rebirth of, in essence, engaging suppliers and outright co-creation with suppliers. The ringleader is undoubtedly Alan Mullally here at Ford. So he is driving this massively. He is kind of one of the most articulate spokespeople for that. Frankly, we're seeing for the first time, I was seeing with my Part3.m colleagues here, they now receive, in essence, co-creation requests for proposals coming from purchasing departments. In essence, a lot of the consulting that was done around purchasing was around knocking heads in the back room, was around lowering costs, increasing service, and so on. You now found sort of purchasing departments for large corporations saying, we want to set up some kind of engagement platforms. We want to bring in a sort of a massive co-creation engagement on both sides here. Co-creation touches the life of people, right? You start with the experience of people, so they have a vested interest in wanting to change things. The focus is still heavily on one-way processes and not so much into, in essence, the creation of those interactions. So more and more the products are not designed by the engineers in the labs and the companies. What the companies end up doing is they set up some kind of a platform, again, that taps into the community of researchers, the community of independent people who have ideas and so on. And in essence, the R&D and the lab itself is opening up to co-creation as well. So from a development standpoint, when you start putting something out there, you may be a little awkward about what you've done the first time around. The very first thing, when you take a look at the first technology, that's a huge clunker. It's very crude and it doesn't work super well. But then the people improved it very, very fast. And it's the people themselves who play a role in addition to the engineers from. Increasingly, all these people are also inserting themselves in the value chain. So not only marketing, not only R&D, but everything in between that is done with your employees, that is done with your suppliers, the partners, and increasingly a whole broad ecosystem. The paradox of co-creation, or the promise of co-creation, is getting the customers to do more so that it costs you less.